Welcome back to another muscle car walk around here at Coyote Classics. Today we got this poppy red 1966 Mustang Coupe. Beautiful car, 4-speed. This is one that I don't think will last long.
Yeah, it's got the GT exhaust, Alton, as well. Just a great looking car. Older restoration. You actually bought this car. Do you remember how long ago it was restored? Or
years ago. The guy I bought it from had it for like 5 to 7 years. Most of the restoration was done before that. You know, he did little things as he went and drove the car. But he said he bought it from an older lady in northern Iowa. Okay. And I believe the old lady said it was an original mile car. Right. Like I said, it's unverifiable, but according to what the previous owner stated.
Yeah, and it's very believable, guys. And we'll go to the inside and we'll kind of talk about that right now as Dalton opens the hood. I'm going to go ahead and kind of check out the miles. We're looking at 71,876 miles on the odometer. The gauge cluster is definitely the original. It's showing the little bit of wear. Another thing is I'm going to talk about is the seats. The seats are in excellent shape. You can see on the stitching right here, that very well could be original as well. So good condition on the interior. The headliner is perfect, which also tells us that it could be the original headliner. There's no wrinkles, nothing like that in it. So 71,000 miles could be the original, Dalton. It's your factory C code 2-barrel car, and that's exactly what it has in it today. It does have an extra trim tag right here, which have been factory. You don't see that very often on them anymore. Nice running engine, new alternator, nice and solid on the inner fender aprons are all really solid. Dual exhaust, manifolds. Looks like new wires, coil, recent tune-up. Basically everything is ready to run on this little pony.
He said from last year him and his son kind of pulled the motor out, dialed it up a little bit. I think they might have done some work to the top end. That's why it looks as good as it does.
Yeah, it looks good. The radiator looks fantastic. So very nice engine compartment. Not really this is a local car show quality car, I would put, but if you pop the hood on any car show, it's going to look really good under here.
Absolutely. Fun cruiser car.
Yeah. If you go to our website, guys, we just put pictures of the undercarriage on here, coyoteclassics.com. Let's go ahead and go to the back, rev it up a little bit, D, and then we'll shut it off. That GT dual exhaust sounds awesome. So we've had some really good weather here in Iowa. It was in the 60s, maybe low 70s. All of a sudden it was freezing last night, and it's cold today too.
That's how it works in Iowa. They say if you don't like the weather, just wait a day.
It's definitely different. So Timmy did buff this car, this poppy red car, and I'll tell you what, it really responded to that buff job.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Really nice tight hood gap from front to back here, and it lines up perfectly across the top of the fender to the top of the hood. As we go over to the passenger side, same thing, really nice gap all the way across, lines up well. Front bumpers has an excellent, Jason goes ahead and steel wools all the bumpers, so the chrome on the front bumper is excellent, shines well. You get right up close to it, you got a few scratches here like on the very top of it. It's got the horse and corral, the grill's in good shape, a couple little paint chips and stuff on the front valance, but all in all, nice looking. Another nice thing about Mustangs, so many of them don't fit very well. This one fits awesome in these back corners, the top of the fender, the top of the cowl, and the door, top of the hood. All of that fits absolutely perfectly right there.
One thing I just noticed is a little chip there by the headlight bezel.
Yep, good eye right there. Torque thrust wheels, they are not the chrome ones that we usually buy, guys. They're the polished aluminums. Jason polished them and stuff. Our door gap on the very front's in great shape. We do have just a tiny little paint flaw right here, very small. Bottom of the fender looks excellent. Chrome wheel well lips, I think we put those on. Yeah, so they're brand new, guys. As far as our rocker panel, bottom of the door, that all looks good. The bottom of the quarter looks like it's in good shape as well. It is cold, Dalton.
It is kind of cold.
As we look up and down the sides, very straight car. Quarters are straight, doors, everything lines up very nicely. It's got the dual exhaust out the back with the trumpets and the tailpipes there. It's got the GT Mustang cap. If we look here, there is some paint. You can see the bare metal right here. There's some paint chips right along around this tail light area. There's a little touch-up scratch here as well. And we have just some shrinkage here, and the factory lead comes right up in here in this quarter, and there's just some little flaws right along here as well. As far as the roof goes, laser straight, no dings, no hail dings, excellent shape there. One more thing, guys, a little touch up right by the door handle right here. We open up the doors, door jamb paints, all the poppy red as well. Nice and clean. Again, not a show winner in here. You can see that, you know, you got some paint touch-ups along here, but all in all, just a nice original car. This goes right along with what I was saying. Very, very, I'm sure that these are the original seat covers. The stitching's coming just a little loose on that corner, but as you come in and out, there hasn't been a ton of wear on these seats. 4-speed shifter. The dash pad looks like it's original, no cracks in it, but it's just, it's lifted right here on the passenger side a little bit. Horn works. It's got the aftermarket wood grain wheel. It's got an AM/FM digital radio, and we'll go through the rest of the stuff in a little bit. Carpet could definitely be original too. You can see just a little fade in the spot that gets the most sun. Headliner's excellent. Visors are excellent. Back door panel, the hard plastic's perfect. The back seat's excellent, and we have seat belts for 2 in the back and 2 in the front. Back shelf's great. The whole interior as a whole is in really nice shape. The trunk lid gaps are great as well. Fits nice there. And really fits nice and snug here too. It doesn't stick out much at all. So many times when they do these, they don't get the gaps right on these quarter extensions, and they seem to stick way out. Top of the trunk lid paint's good. Yeah, this is really a nice shape. Really yeah, the back chrome's great, and the fit of it's great. A lot of times people just use some caulking and crap. Now, we talked about some imperfections here on the other side. This side doesn't have it. This quarter roof extension is perfect there. Very, very nice.
Explain that a little bit, the factory lead line. I know when it came in, you know, I had some questions about
Camaros, a lot of stuff like that. Sometimes you'll see a factory lead line up in here in some cars, and you're going to see some shrinkage. What happens is when you take that in, they strip that down to bare metal, but that's your factory lead line, and that lead over time and over years will shrink that paint into it.
Sure. Okay. That's what.
Yep, that's what that is. As we look up and down the side of this driver's side door here on the back side, excellent gap. Again, the bottom of the door fits really nice here and flush with the quarter and rocker. Couple paint chips on the rocker panel here. And the poor A in Mustang needs a new clip on that. It's the original ones there. As far as the rocker panel, very solid. Lower fenders, excellent paint on the fenders. Nice. I'd give this paint job a good strong 8.
Yeah.
A little more maybe. I mean, it's just a nice driver.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, that buff made a big difference too.
Yeah. Really darkened the red up. Now, so many times these window rollers go bad. The windows roll up awesome. The seals are original. Roof rail rubber's original too, Dalton. And that tells me that's 71,000 miles, okay? Corners of the doors are good. That's one thing I forgot, guys, on the passenger, I think. Here's your bottom of the door. Here's your factory information here on the original colors and stuff. All original rubbers, it looks like. Original felts, original door rubbers. Which really is another thing that tells us 71,000 miles.
Want me to check out
yeah,
the
go ahead.
store? Really nice and solid.
Look at the heat.
Yeah, no kidding.
Holy smokes, it feels like winter's back. How can you have a couple weeks that feel like summer? And then,
It's funny though, because if we had this about a month and a half ago, we wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah,
We'd have probably been out in t-shirts.
Sucks though. All right, so we got the horn that works. Wipers are working great, and they park correctly. The heater works. That's all I care about right now, boys.
Also the tack. Look at there.
Aftermarket Sun
tack.
Pro, and when you have a 4-speed, you really should have one. You got your emergency flashers down there.
I believe those work. When I went and bought the car, I checked them out and they work.
Good. We got good oil pressure on this motor. The gas gauge works properly. That's another thing to point out to whoever buys it. Very important. That's in there to change those wheels. Temperature gauge isn't coming up yet. It's cold, so we'll see that. Amp gauge works. Everything works on this car, guys, and we'll check out that temp gauge. We'll make a mention of it a little later.
Rock108.com and vote
Radio works
now.
well.
Once you voted, you'll be qualified to win a special Rock 108 prize pack. The real brackets are at rock108.com.
Those new radios, these ones are always a little finicky, I feel like.
All right, there, we got it muted. Okay, so it's got the day-night mirror. It's original mirror. You can see in the glass. Look at that doll. It's still pretty clean, but you can see it's just got some oxidation there in that glass. That's the first time I drove this little Mustang, so you drove it when you bought it, I think. But
Yeah, it's a good driving little car. Another thing I noticed with this car, most Mustangs, especially 4-speeds, I have trouble driving them, you know, because of the legroom, there's not much. But this one, I was surprised when I actually fit in there well and could drive it. So,
I also want to mention a little bit, and that is definitely true. Oh wow! Holy
Yeah, look at
smokes.
that.
So they extended this, I think.
yeah, they did. The guy I bought it from was a taller guy.
Okay, so he's got this extended, guys. I had it way up, but yeah, check this out. It's awesome. Tons of legroom. So if you're a bigger guy, look at the headroom.
yeah, all kinds of headroom.
Tons
too.
of headroom, tons of legroom. Actually, I've never had this where I have to move it up a little.
I know.
All right, there we go.
You were going to point something out with the shifter.
Yeah, the boot. The shifter boot's ripped, guys. It needs a new shifter boot. Yeah, this ain't we're not asking $35,000, $30,000 for this car. It's a great looking starter Mustang for somebody. It's not half-assed, it's not crappy. It's just a nice little car.
Exactly. And for a 2-barrel, it's still got the 2-barrel on it, and it goes just perfect. You know?
It doesn't miss a beat in that carburetor, guys. 70 mile an hour right there. There's 80.
80.
I mean, and we do that, guys, not because we're beating on them. We're doing it because every car fucking drives good when it's 55 mile an hour. But when you get up to 70, 80 mile an hour in the interstate, you start going like this, and things kind of feel like they're going to fall apart on some cars. So we want you guys to know exactly what kind of quality of car you are buying.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So here's 5560 right here. One finger on the wheel, 4th gear, running under 3,000 RPM.
Look at that shifter too. Most of the time, those rattle, you know, but all the bushings and everything in there is tight, stays tight going down the road.
This car's got my vote, Dalton. It's a good little Mustang.
I know, it's a nice car.
Very tight, no rattle, no shaking the steering wheel, just a good car.
Exactly. Get on there and check it out before we fall too much in love with it and raise the price. But guys, CoyoteClassics.com. We do offer shipping, financing. Go on there, check us out. This is a great starter Mustang.